So, Natalie, you are saying that you are giving a presentation for 15 minutes to all employees to outline the timings and benefits of the computer system modernization project. But you are a bit worried as you know the communication needs to be improved across the company before this change can be successfully implemented?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so do you know when and where you are giving your presentation?
1st April in less than 2 weeks from now, and we are doing it in the company function room, which can fit in around 30 people. And I know some staff will join online through Zoom that day.
No worries, we still have time. I would firstly recommend to pin this date into your calendar, and we can sort things out a few days before then.
Good idea.
Great. Have you considered making a PowerPoint to help your presentation? It can give you a visual assistant to your audience and can also be a reminder to yourself of what you plan to talk about. You can also share it through Zoom.
Oh, that is a brilliant idea.
Cool. Then it is important that you have a thorough schedule for writing up your presentation and making the PowerPoint accordingly. So, for example, you can set aside half an hour each day to write what you want to say in your presentation and another half an hour for making the PowerPoint. You can adjust your time according to your daily progress, but it is better that you have a daily goal in mind. For example, you'd better think about how much words you need to write each day so you can meet the required deadline for your writing. Also, I would recommend you finish working on the writing and PowerPoint at least 3 days in advance so you can have some time to practice your presentation and edit them if needed. So if you need me to rehearse your presentation, I'll be more than happy to be your first audience.
Thank you so much, Sophie.
No worries at all. Then let's talk about how you can prepare for your presentation. So how much do you know about your audience?
They are all experienced staff who have been working here for at least 2 years, but some of them are not native speakers of English, so may not understand English that well.
That is very important point. Even though they are all experts in this area, you will want to avoid jargons or slangs in your presentation. They will only get confused as non-native speakers of English. That is also why a PowerPoint will help them understand your presentation. You can have 3 main parts for your presentation, including an introduction, a middle part, and a conclusion. So in the introduction, you need to consider how to lead into your presentation. A question or a relevant story about the company can be a very effective attraction to your audience and should encourage them to get engaged from the beginning. You also need to outline what you are going to present in the following part so your audience knows what to expect. In the middle part, stick to the pattern that you have outlined in your introduction, but don't cover too many points and go on and on. Otherwise, your audience will lose interest. As for the conclusion, it can be short, but should be connected to the main content of your presentation. It can be a good idea that you refer to the introduction and tie everything up at the end. It will give your presentation a perfect ending by wrapping things up this way. You can also have a Q&A session at the very end. It will help you avoid unnecessary interruptions if you want to manage your time.
Thank you very much. That's a really helpful ideas.
Not a problem. So we're not finished yet though. Once you finish writing and designing your PowerPoint, you have a couple of days to practice your presentation. You must know practicing is as important as planning and preparing, so make sure you have enough time to do it. You can practice it with me, and I can give you feedback on the volume, pace, and structure of your presentation. We can then discuss about it and see if you want to edit anything afterwards.
That sounds great.
No problem. So there are also some tips for you to know about things like your posture, voice, and body language during your presentation. So you need to remember to stand confidently and not to be aimlessly walking around the room. Also, you should speak slowly and give regular pauses if you want to be understood, especially for the staff who are non-native speakers of English. So finally, you need to be careful with your hands. If your hands are in your pockets or constantly touching your face, you will need to correct this behavior. So keeping a closed gesture like hands in your pockets or crossed arms will leave your audience the impression of you being distant and hard to approach.
That is really helpful. I will start planning this afternoon.
No problem, my pleasure. Let me know if you need any further assistance. We can meet again on the 30th of March to go through your presentation together if you want.
That will be fantastic.
My pleasure.